The other plugin that we're gonna talk about, we're still talking about ref. This time is not, we're not talking about performance, but we're talking about, let's say, a safe net for your workflow. I title it like a recovery guardrails for critical branches and tag. So what's the issue here? Any destructive ref update might be allowed either for operational reason, like you can give admin the possibility of doing, for example, a force push to I don't know, to tags or to your ref headmaster for operational reason. Now, these highlight a risk. You have the risk of losing the pointer to the correct object for a particular reference, and that could be a big issue. Imagine that suddenly your master branch disappear. I think you're gonna have some trouble. And it did happen. So we did have some customers that ended up in this situation, and thanks to this plugin, they easily managed to recover it. You might be able to do it anyway, but it might be more elaborate to recover it, and you have to be really quick, because imagine that you do a force push to ref master and then AGC starts. That's it. The object you were pointing to, it might be loose and it might be gone. So what does this plugin do? Which kind of ref? What's the protection that this plugin gives us? It gives protection against deletion of masters, of branches, deletion of tasks, and any fast forward update of branch, like a force push, for example. How does it do? How does it protect it? It basically backup branches under a particular ref name, which is ref backups, which is the same which I was excluding in the previous example in the previous module I was describing. By default, it goes under ref backups by something configurable. And it you can also configure it to create backup tags instead of branches. It's totally up to you. And if you create the backup tags, in the tag you can include metadata about the original ref and the submitter. Now, how does it work? I hope that this is clear enough. It's a really simple and lightweight plugin. So imagine you have a user that does, for example, a force push to Gerrit. A ref updated event will be triggered. What the ref protection does, it just implement a ref update listener. And whenever an update happens, the plugin, what it does, it just check if the ref is one of the one that you want to protect, like ref heads or ref tags. It checks if a deletion is happening or a non-fast forward operation is happening. And if that's the case, it just create a backup of your ref, and it just store it among the available ref. If it's not relevant, it just ignore it. So that's it. So probably most of the time this plugin is there listening and not doing anything. So that should be the case. Otherwise, there is something wrong in your workflow. A couple of operational gotchas that you want to be aware of. The user that needs to create the user doing the force push, for example, need to be able to create references and push to the namespace where the backups are basically created. Otherwise, the push will fail. It will be logged in the error logs, but you might not realize that the backups are not happening. Also, you want to block the read on the ref's backup namespace, because you might you want to block the read to the majority of the user, because you might end up in a situation where a ref ending up under the backups namespace might leak previously protected content. So you want to pay attention to these two gotchas. Demo. Okay, in terms of setup, there is no much to show really. I just installed here the ref protection plugin, and in this case, being a plugin, you don't need to restart Gerrit. You just need to pop the plugin in the plugin directory. And here, let me go here. I think it's this one. Okay, so okay, so here I was testing it before, so I'm already in a situation where basically where the repository is in a bad status. So let's put it back to correct status. Okay, so now here we have our master branch correctly pointing to repository. And now let's simulate a deletion. Okay, so here I'm on master, and if I force push on master, so here I did a force push on master, so I deleted my ref. Now, if I go on the server again and I do a show ref, as you've seen, the ref master is gone, but here we can see that we have a new branch that is pointing to the ref that we deleted. So to restore it, you basically need to do what I did before. As you've seen, the restoration phase is super easy. You just need to do an update ref server side. So nothing crazy, super easy plugin, but it can really save your day. And back to the slide, demo done. Just to recap what this plugin gives you is not a preventive enforcement, as we said, like an ACL could be. It's a really good and cheap safety net, as we've seen. And again, it's useful to protect release branches or tab where you really need to be quick when recovering them, not to create any outage or any disruption in your CI/CD system, basically. Any question?
And then based on that, I guess if we're using cgit or jgit, it will impact the bitmap efficiency.
No, it's not going to impact the efficiency of the bitmap, because in Gerrit, basically, when you create a bitmap, what happens behind the scene is that you have actually two bitmaps, one containing only the heads and the other one containing the rest. So the one which is actually used by Gerrit behind the scene is the one, and the important one is the one with the heads, which on purpose the backup references has been excluded for. So the backup references won't be included in the bitmap. Hence, there won't be an impact in terms of performances on Gerrit.
And then the next question is, how is the plugin better than the Git ref log available in Git server?
Okay, so I would say the purpose of reflog and Git ref filters are, and the audience as well, are different. So while the Git ref log is more for say forensic reason, so it's not for BAU tasks. So if something really bad happened on the repo and the sysadmin has to log in on the server and try to find out what happened there, that's more like a sysadmin, a Gerrit admin task. So it might have, as I said, to log in the server, try to understand what happened via the Git ref log. And that's something that is unusual, let's say, in your day-to-day job. And it's something that you do at a low level on the file system. While the Git ref filter is something that can be more self-service. So, for example, you can give the capability to the project owner to act on the backup ref. So that way, it doesn't even need to log in the server. So it can just restore the lost references himself, and it doesn't have to involve the system administrator at all. So the scope of the two tools is totally different. So one for forensic, generic forensic, more low level, so for Gerrit administrator. The other one for final users like project owners, and more high level. So those are the main differences.